You're sitting on the couch, your dog walks over, sniffs your hand once, and then does something that most people barely register. They turn around, plant themselves right in front of you, back facing you, eyes pointed at the room, not looking at you, not engaging with you at all. And if you're being honest, there's a small part of you that wonders, did I do something? Are they upset? Why would they come all the way over just to face the other direction? Most people read this as indifference, maybe mild rejection. Maybe your dog just doesn't care as much as you thought. That interpretation is completely wrong. What your dog just did is one of the most deliberate expressions of trust that any animal is capable of. And it's rooted in something far older than your living room. Every predator on Earth knows this. The back of the body is the blind spot. It's the place you can't defend, the place you can't see. In the wild, exposing your back to another animal is either a fatal mistake or an act of absolute certainty that the animal behind you is safe. Your dog just made that decision about you, not accidentally, deliberately. Researchers studying canine social cognition have found that dogs are acutely aware of spatial orientation. They track where you are, what direction you're facing, even what your eyes are doing. A team at the University of Portsmouth demonstrated that dogs modify their facial expressions depending on whether a human is watching them. They know when they're being observed. They've calculated your position, and they chose to be defenseless in it. That's not indifference. That's the opposite of indifference. Here's where most people miss the deeper layer. Dogs don't just turn their backs to you randomly throughout the day. Watch carefully, and you'll notice it happens in specific moments, when they've just settled, when the room is quiet, when nothing in the environment is triggering alertness. They face outward. This matters because what they're actually doing is guarding, not guarding your house from intruders in the dramatic sense. Guarding you. They've placed their sensory equipment, eyes, ears, nose, toward the direction where a threat would come from, and left their unprotected side with the one thing in the room they've already decided isn't a threat. You. In wolf packs, researchers at the Wildlife Science Center in Minnesota observed that resting wolves arrange themselves in a specific pattern. Pack members who trust each other sleep back to back or with their spines oriented toward the center of the group. The vulnerable side faces inward toward the trusted. The alert side faces outward toward the unknown. Your dog is doing the same thing. They've organized the room the way a wolf organizes a den. And in this arrangement, you are the center of the pack, not the periphery. The center. But this goes beyond instinct. There's a neurological dimension that makes it even more significant. Research into canine stress physiology has shown that proximity to a bonded owner activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for calm, digestion, recovery. It's the opposite of fight or flight. When your dog turns their back to you and settles, their heart rate drops, their breathing slows, cortisol begins to fall. Not because the room is safe, because you are. Their nervous system has classified you as a regulating presence. That classification isn't something they give easily. It's built through months of consistent interaction, through the accumulation of hundreds of small moments where nothing bad happened, where your hands were gentle, where your voice stayed even, where you existed near them and the world didn't get worse. Every one of those moments deposited something into your dog's internal prediction system. And now, when they sit with their spine to you, their brain is running a calculation so fast they don't even know it's happening. The result of that calculation is safe, not tolerated, safe. There's something else that happens in this moment that almost nobody notices. When your dog faces away from you, relaxed and settled, and you reach out and touch them, run your hand along their back, scratch their shoulder, something measurable occurs in both of your bodies. A neurochemical called oxytocin rises in them. and in you simultaneously. It's a cycle. One, your dog initiated by turning around. Now, here's the part that should make you pay attention. Not every dog does this with every person. If you've ever noticed that your dog turns their back to you but faces toward a guest or a new partner or someone they haven't fully decided about yet, that's not coincidence. That's data. Your dog is telling you with their body who they trust and who they're still assessing. The back goes to the safe one, the eyes stay on the uncertain one. If your dog has never turned their back to someone in your home, that's worth noticing. And if your dog turns their back to you but remains stiff, doesn't settle, keeps their ears rotating, that's not the same behavior. Posture matters. Relaxation is the key variable. A dog who turns their back and melts into the ground beside you has made a different decision than a dog who turns their back and stays rigid. The first is trust. The second is conflict. A dog caught between wanting closeness and not quite being ready for full vulnerability. And if your dog used to do this and stopped, that matters too. Behavioral changes and settled routines can signal pain, anxiety, or a shift in how your dog is experiencing your relationship. Dogs don't have language. Position is one of the few tools they have to tell you how they feel. So here's what's actually happening the next time your dog walks over, turns around, and settles against you with their back pressed to your leg. They know you're there, and that's exactly why they can stop watching. That's not a dog ignoring you. That's a dog who has decided, down to the level of their nervous system, that you are the one thing in the room they don't need to defend themselves against. 15,000 years of evolution built that decision. And your dog makes it every time they turn around. If that changes how you see this moment, tell me, does your dog do this? And who do they point their back toward? There's something your dog does when they hear your voice from another room that most people never think about. That's coming next, and it reveals more than you'd expect.